And he was programmed for success. Tiger. Since he's, what about you? Nothing. Less than nothing. And I knew his father. I guess when I die, the nuns tell me I'm on a rocket ship to heaven. Saint Teresa, who she's now, and I put the money on the bitch when she was not a saint. Sally and I support a bunch of Saint Teresa stuff. She was made a saint in the shortest time frame in the history of the Catholic Church. And the nuns and the priests and the brothers, Mr. Peña, you're on a rocket ship to heaven. From their lips to the big man's ears. I hope that's true. I rather doubt it, though, but I like to think it's true. But I mean, I saw him get slapped by his dad in the face at a golf tournament, the Scottish Open, because he came in second. My dad would have broken my arm. But anyway, if I had any talent, he came in second. And then he had one of the greatest comebacks in golf in history or sports history when he won the Masters a couple of years ago. The thing that, because they forgive you, in America, if you fuck up and you say you're sorry, they forgive you. See, nobody's going to forgive me. All the shit. I've done some evil shit. I can't believe you getting on my knees and going on Oprah and they're going to say, forgive me. I just don't believe that. I also don't think it's right. It's like all the mafia dons, as soon as they get arrested, they get cancer. Or they pretend to have cancer. That's bullshit. You made the decision, you cocksucker. You live with it. I'm going to live with all my decisions. And I'm proud of them. Now, in an indelicate way, my parents were making me ready for success in this way. I'm in the hood now. I'm taking dancing lessons at Arthur Murray. Ballroom dancing, okay? I'm taking golf lessons free at Wilson Park. Nobody plays golf in the hood. Nobody. I took tennis lessons free at the park. Nobody plays tennis in the hood. They let me believe Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and Tooth Fairy way too long. My cousin said, Dan was 19 years old and he still believed in the Tooth Fairy. Yeah. Okay. My native language, my family's native language is Spanish. They didn't allow Spanish in the house. Whenever they wanted to, because my mother was afraid that I was going to speak English with a Spanish accent. My uncle said, instead of Chavez Regal, they say Chavez. I mean, my mother used to cry, thinking that I was going to talk like them. And by accident, by serendipity, my mother got a hold of the book by Dr. Benjamin Spock about child rearing, which, when he died a number of years ago, behind the Bible, it had sold more books than any book alive. And I listened to classical music. My parents wouldn't allow me to listen to anything but classical music. So in their way, they were setting me up for what they thought was success. And the shit worked. As opposed to what your parents did or didn't do. And that's our grandson. Future legend, you little shit. Okay? And tomorrow, well, he walks now. So, I mean, I guess I had to pick him up to kiss him or something, or pat him on the head or something. But we are brought in innocent to this life, then life happens. Most info given for success is wrong unless you're lucky enough to have a high-performance parents. If you're the child of Andrew Agassi and Steffi Graf, both world-class athletes, gold medalists, okay, and they don't want their kids to be athletic. But by definition, I mean, those kids are super athletes. Kids don't do what you tell them to do. They do what they see you do. They do what they see you do. So if I remember years ago, I'm driving across Alligator Alley in southern Florida to a mentee wanted me to meet her parents. Okay, I don't normally do this, but anyway. As we drive up into this gated golfing community, up on the right, I see a portly woman straddling over a guy, beating his face in like this. What I just thinking? And then we pull into the driveway. I go, fuck. And I said, yeah. So they said, she got up, put the grass or blood or whatever off her hands. And they were drinking, you know how mayonnaise jars full of ice and a half a bottle of vodka each. We were there, barbecued steaks, and out in less than an hour. And then she cried from there to Tampa, driving home. She said, I wanted you to know why I am the way I am. Some of you in this room have similar stories. Now, if I had an old lady, they used to call women, wives, old ladies where I grew up. If I had an old lady that could kick my ass, I would have killed her long ago. I couldn't take and getting shit beat out of me every day by my wife. Now, in your entire lives, what have you experienced? Weak, lackluster parents, no high-performance role model, low bar expectations, little or no accountability, little or no responsibility, leading to little or no accomplishments, leading to our snowflake society. That's where we are. And as our daughter says, Daddy, unless the president and the chairman are walking by as I'm screwing the donkey, I wouldn't get fired. We have people in this audience that have never been screamed at growing up. We have people in this audience that have never been in a fight in grade school. You know how you fight on another little kid? We have people in this audience that have never been smacked by their parents, by anybody. Yes, sir, and it fucking shows. That's exactly right. I mean, it just, the world is, living in Europe the last almost 40 years has sheltered me from some of this because Guthrie is a long way from it. You need a long-range bomber with refueling capability to find me. So, I mean, a lot of this I don't see, especially the last couple of years, because the last couple of years I haven't been giving these kind of talks. But the last talk I gave at the University of Pennsylvania, and I saw the kids up close, and they want leadership. They want to be saved. They know they're fucked. They know it. My dad made $142 a month as a cop when I was a little boy. He had 2 extra jobs. He was security at May department store and another place. And even when you round this up for 60 years, I still have no money. Now, I remember the first day I made $2,000 in 1971. A day. 50 years ago last year, which is about 12 grand now in 2020. I remember the first day I made 10 grand in a day. In a day. What? I'll tell you. I stole it. I found a young punk like you and I knocked him over and took his wallet. Okay? I made 10 grand in a day, which is about 52 grand now. But I also remember the day I made 100 million pounds in a day, which is 315 million pounds a day, which is $500 million in a day. In a fucking day. And I've got kids that are doing better than me. And even though it doesn't break my heart to see them doing better than me, but it does because they're doing it so easily. I work my fucking balls off to do that. That's the day that I went public. That's a $20 million check. Do I look happy? You fucking ain't right, I was happy. I used to wear a bowler, just like that. My head's gotten bigger now, because I got more money. It is one thing to study war and another to live the warrior's life. A lot of you I'm getting back to the books you read. If you never read another book in your entire life, my book's online free. You'd be better off. Most of you should have never been born. You should have rolled down your fat mama's leg. But one of those 400,000 little spermies got up there somehow. The good news is it got up there, the bad news is it got up there because it produced you. What have you done for mankind? Not a motherfucking thing. You're desperate to fit in. Again, you'd rather be liked than effective. Now, since I was little, my dad, I didn't know he was taking me out of my comfort zone, but that's me at 13 or 14 years old with a real live line. And my mother's out here off camera screaming, crying, begging my father to get the fucking thing off me. But I've always done crazy shit. I like this press the envelope. I always have. As an older man, Sally's in the background back there. Yeah, people get hurt. Not this person. You, he killed, not me. You can't kill me. I really believe that. I should have been dead 50 times. One of the most inspiring things Sally and I have ever done is go to see the silverback gorillas in Rwanda. That's Charlie. We came back 2 years later, and I was stupid enough to think he'd remember me. He didn't. All he does is he fornicates 4, 5, 6 times a day and eats. What a fucking life. I mean, God almighty. And Charlie. And the gorillas like blondes. So the little gorillas would go and chase Sally around. You can't touch the gorillas, but they can touch you. Okay? And so the little gorillas, teenager gorillas, I guess you call them, were attracted to Sally. There was some other stuff, walking with the lions. This trek, the hyenas had come in and stolen a few of their cubs. And so male lions don't do anything but fucking eat. And so the women lions kick their ass up to get them awake so they go find the hyenas. I still do stuff like this. And you notice that I'm not tied by my ankles because artificial hip, artificial knees, when you hit, boom, I mean, you can pull them out of joint. So they tied it around the waist. And good example, there's about 50, 60 mile an hour winds that day in New Zealand. And a bunch of you studs like you, they're in a long, long line. And they're going, oh, when that fucking wind dies down, I'm going to jump that cocksucker. Okay, I wait about 10 minutes in line. I go up to the head of the line, and I give the guy $100. I think the wind's down, don't you think? I go up, and I jump, and I come back, and they're still saying, wait, when that fucking wind goes down, I mean, That's you. Now, this on YouTube is Photoshop because I didn't land on my feet like it shows there. I landed on my head. But I decided for posterity, it didn't need to show me landing on my fucking head. But it's a great ride. It's in Vegas. It's up one of the big hotels. It's 855 feet. And it's quite a rush. And there was a guy there that was going to be married the next day, and he made his fiancée jump. She was petrified. If you don't jump, baby, we're no marriage tomorrow. And the girl's girlfriends were saying, oh, fuck him. You don't need him. She jumped. Yeah, got married. That's exactly right. Okay. Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. The only thing I've ever been afraid of is my father. I'm not afraid of anything. And that's not the norm, but I'm a psycho. You know. But 95% of the things you're afraid of never happen. Never happen. Josh Kim said it in his 17-minute interview from a few years ago. He says 95% of the things Mr. Peña said would never happen, never happened. But we worry about them. And you saw the things that your parents were afraid of. In the hood, they have what's called a mortgage burning party. When you pay off your mortgage, then they burn the mortgage and have a barbecue. And I said to some of my cousins, that's the only fucking proof you have you own this piece of shit. Why are you burning it? Now, and they all go, duh. I mean, that's where I was raised. The only asset they have. And then they burn the proof.